News, Tuesdays.
Well, John Volpe scored the touchdown that was aided by a Toronto Argonaut penalty. Volpe's third touchdown of the season, capping that 30-yard drive following the interception by Chris Major.
That's the first time. I think we've set a record. This could be a national record. It's the first time I've ever heard anybody look at the camera and say hi to his dad. They always say hi to their mom. That's the bowling ball. This guy can get through there. He can go through an arm or a leg. Nobody's going to stop him. He's got those short legs. Very powerful. He can dunk a basketball. He's only 5'7".
Packs 195 pounds onto that 5'7" frame. Kevin Smelly tackled before he picked up the ball almost by Andrew Thomas.
Well, that little short kickoff seems to be working pretty effectively. Hard to handle, and it prevents the good guy's teeth from getting a return. Not bad strategy.
Backup quarterback Tony Kimbrough trying to get the fans into this football game. Foggy is throwing it deep for the Rocket. He had Robin Belanger defending against him.
Well, you get the feeling that they're forcing things now. They're trying to get it all the way down for a home run instead of doing what they do well. Now, the Rocket's got good speed, but people know that he's going to be running. It's hard to run down the field with one hand up in the air. That's just not the way it should be done. They got to start working on getting first downs. Derek McCready is reminding Ricky Foggy that he's in a football game.
Three receivers wide to the left this time. Foggy being chased by Stu Hill. Put a good move on Hill. Whoa, and that takes a big hit from Pentley as he got up to the 50-yard line.
Well, Foggy ran about 65 yards on that play, but unfortunately he didn't get the 10 that he needed for the first down.
What a good move, though, he put on Stu Hill when it appeared as though Stuart Hill was going to drop him for a loss.
Rocket came back, and I'm not sure that he got the block or somebody got him. It was a tough hit on him, but the Rocket was trying to come back to help his quarterback, Ricky Foggy, but Foggy showed athletic ability in avoiding Stu Hill. There's no question about that, Don.
Levathan and Jefferson are back for Hank Olisic's third down kick. Levathan takes it at the 25. Stopped by Chris Gaines, but not before he got back to the 48-yard line. A 22-yard return for Levathan. Well, the fans under the dome are certainly enjoying this action tonight. I don't think they thought it was going to be that good an evening in the first quarter when it was 21-3 Toronto.
Things didn't look very good at that time, but the crowd has certainly woken up in this last three periods. They've really been doing very well. Gotten into the ball game, and it looks like the team has responded. That's what BC's done. They've gotten into this ball game.
This will be the final play of the third quarter, barring penalty. Flutie going for it all with Etheridge. Incomplete, knocked away by Ed Berry. And that is the end of the third quarter. It will be 2nd and 10 BC to start the fourth.
Heard what's happening? McDonald's prices. An original hamburger, just 69 cents. A cheeseburger, 79 cents. And a sausage McMuffin, just 89 cents. Priced for today? This is McDonald's today. Great value all day.
Deserve a break today. McDonald's today.
Sonoma 4x4 features shift-on-the-fly four-wheel drive. Now you can get easy driving, even in driving rain. The 1991 Sonoma Compact Pickup from GMC Truck. Drive the 1991 S15 Jimmy with a towing capacity of up to 5,500 pounds. One fun ride leads to another. The 1991 S15 Jimmy from GMC Truck.
Well, the BC Lions have been in a nail-biter every time out this season. This looks as though it could be another one. They lost their first by 5, won their second by 3 in overtime, won their third start of the year by a single point. They lead by 7. Doug Flutie on second down, throwing to the sidelines for a first down to Alexander. Again, it was Alexander matched up against Reggie Pleasant.
They've done it all night. They've tried to go for that mismatch. Pleasant is playing the defense, believe it or not. His concept there, he's not supposed to get beat deep. He has to come up and make the hits. And he's been doing that. But they have to start doing some man-to-man coverage on that backside.
Drop play with Volpe. Breaks one tackle and should be close to another first down. Reggie Pleasant dropped down. John Volpe, the rookie running back out of Stanford.
You can see 55 is driving number 70 Holman back over on his back. He's saying, here, take that. Keep the hits above the waist.
Well, one of the newspaper headlines on the West Coast today, a column by Archie McDonald of the Vancouver Sun, referred to John Candy as Uncle Bucks. Uncle Buck was the name of the movie he was involved in, but the dollars he has contributed to the CFL this year are part and parcel of what they hope will be a big turnaround. Chris Skinner on the receiving end of the throw from Flutie, and he was searching all over the field for someone to throw to.
Now this is signature Doug Flutie. He has taken about 15 seconds to execute this play. Nobody can get him. Flutie gives it to Kerr. He says, Mayo's down. Now he comes back over to the side. Campbell misses. Now he comes back over to this side. Warren will miss. Now he'll come back over, complete a pass, and he said all of that work for only 10 yards. Now I want you to know that Leonard Johnson, he hasn't seen a CFL game before, and he's playing in one, and right now he's down on his hands and knees wondering, when are they ever going to get me off this field? There have been more turnovers. He's been on the field now for about 15 minutes trying to catch Doug Flutie. That's a day's work for anybody. Joe Powpow's telling Doug Flutie, keep up the good work. Keep buying time. You're getting those linemen wore out. Joe Powpow didn't have that flexibility. He wasn't able to run around. He had to throw precise passes.
Well, that's the big difference between the game played north of the border and the one south of the 49th. It's the scrambling ability of the quarterbacks that can cause tremendous problems for some of those defensive linemen and linebackers. 13 minutes is the time remaining in the game.
For 5 straight years, the full-size pickup from GMC Truck has retained more of its original value than any other in Canada. That's why the popularity of the Sierra is growing faster than any other full-size pickup. And we intend to keep it that way in '91 with the new Sierras. The 1991 Sierra full-size pickup from GMC Truck.
These are the mean machines. Watch closely now and you will see they can hurt you. they can cut you. These are the mean machines.
Trevor knows what it means to play safe. A year ago, he tried to beat the train. It cost him his arm.
Don't let it happen to you. Play safe.
A message from the War Amps and the CFL.
Play safe.
Well, the Argos, with Leonard Johnson out for 3 plays, have come up with a defensive set that includes 4 linebackers as Bruce Elliott comes in, along with Don Moen, Chris Gaines, and Darryl Ford.
If Flutie keeps running like he has been, they may have to go with about 7 linebackers to slow him down. He's having a great game.
Well, Flutie said the Canadian game has allowed him to do more with his abilities, and we have certainly seen that this season. Last year, he didn't hit 1,000 yards until his 8th game. He's over 1,500 yards already this season, and he hasn't completed his 4th. Flutie being chased by Campbell. There were just too many bodies. Campbell got a second shot at him and brought him down at the 35-yard line.
Well, you can fool me once, but you can't fool me twice. And I think the Toronto defense, most of all, had some rest. And they tried to bring the guard back on Campbell. He beat the block, just came right through untouched. Not fair to your quarterback to let one guy through untouched, but it happens.
Willie Gillis is loosening up his throwing arm at the Toronto bench, an indication perhaps that Adam Rita is about to make a quarterbacking change. Draw play with Volpe. And Chris Gaines made the tackle. Volpe picked up about 12 yards. Not enough for a first down. There's an injured Toronto player. Don Moen is still down.
The Argos have been on the field for a long time, and it's tough when your defense is out there and they're exposed that much. And you see a lot of guys taking one knee and trying to get their wind back because Flutie and Volpe, they're low. They're hard to make tackles on, hard to capture. Watch Volpe make him miss. And even when you do hit him, he makes about 5 more yards, and he's a football player.
Don Moen started his CFL career with the BC Lions. He went to Toronto in 1982, and what a career he has had. 158 consecutive games.
You know, there aren't many statistics, Don, that attest to what your offensive line does, but it looks like right now the BC offensive line is really taking control of this ball game. Maybe we should make up some statistics and give the guys a trophy. Like how many games you played. Lloyd Fairbanks, I think, is ahead on all that. He's played 4,000 games or something like that. But that's the only statistic an offensive lineman has.
It appeared as though he may have been hit in the face by someone trying to block.
A lot of loose fingers out there. Sometimes you catch a finger in the eye and it does get through that face mask.
So on 3rd down, a 31-yard field goal attempt upcoming off the toe of Lou Casaglia. And the BC Lions now lead by 10 with 11:38 remaining in the game.
Honey, okay, honey, it's turned on, all ready to go, all right? Hi,
My baby.
I'm your dad.
Over here.
Katie,
Honey,
Katie, over here.
Angel.
Welcome, sports fans. We're at the top of the 4th inning with the score 10-8. We're losing, and there's our star outfielder, Mark the ball. Look, it's on the ball. No, it's on your glove. Use your glove. All right!
These special moments were brought to you by Canon and the easy-to-use Canon E63 camcorder.
You picked the wrong person to get even with, pal.
They're out for revenge.
Wonder if he's married.
Danny DeVito, Richard Dreyfuss, and Barbara Hershey. Tin Man, a movie special, August 10th.
two unlikely cops.
I always wanted to be bad.
Land a far from routine
I was
assignment.
supposed to be watching the house, right? So I was watching the house from the inside.
Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez. Takeout, Saturday.
I'm in the Lions Den here at BC Place, the private box of Lions owner Murray the Pezum. Great game. This is what the CFL's all about. The blackout lifted. Couldn't be any better, could it?
It couldn't be, really. It's got everything the public wants. Take a look at them. They're all going nuts down there.
And how happy are you lifted the blackout, Murray? Great promotion.
Of course. I'm the greatest promoter in the world. You know that.
One more question. Do you know everybody in this box? There's about 400 people here.
I think so. I think they name my name. I'm a popular guy. I can't help myself. They're mostly girls anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm checking their accreditation personally. Murray, great seats. How did you scoop up these tickets?
I wonder.
Thanks, Murray.
Mike Clemens tackled by Petway at the 35. I wonder what Murray has written on page 2 of his How to Be Modest book.
Well, I think he is the greatest promoter in the world. I mean, look at all the movies he's made. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong guy.
Ricky Foggy remains at quarterback. We saw Willie Gillis warming up at the Toronto bench. It was all Toronto in the first quarter, but the Lions, to their credit, have fought back and enjoy a 10-point lead. Ken Watson got a hand on that throw intended for Andrew Murray at the 50-yard line. And another injured Toronto player, Bob Skent, was the man down.
Boss, the local guy, he's here from BC and used to be with the Lions. And I know he wants to get in that game. He wants to stay in the ball game, but he's had a problem with his wrist. They're warming up. Looks like Schultz might be in the ball game any minute. Now Kardash is changing his jersey. He's in that bimbo formation as a tight end, so Kardash has to get quickly changed, get his number 63 on and pretend he's not a receiver anymore. They didn't even take the old jersey off, just put it over the other.
Kardash wears 73 when he lines up in that two tight end formation. And of course his regular number is 63, and he will now be going into the ball game as an injury replacement. The 3-0 start the Argos got off to this year, 35-18 over Ottawa, 41-18 over Hamilton, 30-16 over Winnipeg, is their best start since 1983 when they won their first 4. And of course that same year went on to win the Grey Cup, 18-17 over BC. The Argos have another road game coming up next week. They're in Regina, Taylor Field, to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Roughriders were hammered last night by the Edmonton Eskimos.
A lot of firepower in the CFL this year. There are a lot of football teams that can put points on the board very quickly. Edmonton certainly is one of them. Bob Skep from the Richmond Raiders, his father coached him in Richmond. He's coming off, but I think he'll be back on. He's swinging that arm around, and you know, they don't hurt big guys for very long.
Tomorrow night, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are at home to Ottawa. Then next Thursday, they move the activity to Lansdowne Park in the nation's capital. And on August the 8th, Thursday, we'll have the Winnipeg at Ottawa game for you. There is no television coverage of tomorrow night's game at Winnipeg Stadium. Foggy to Kelly, a screen pass, and a penalty flag on the play. It could be a face mask call against Ken Petway. When you see the head of the receiver or the running back snap around that quickly, it usually means a face mask violation has taken place, and that's the signal from referee Ken Lazarus.
That was a good call. They caught the defense coming in, hard pass rush through the screen pass.
Face mask. PC number 8, first down Toronto.
Bad decision by Petway to get that penalty. That's about as bad as Hallman's penalty.
rises there to make the tackle.
Well, Zach Allen's been playing on the inside, and he's been doing a good job of not getting blown out of there. He's handling the center. He's doing it. He and Beckstead are having to go around. Sometimes the guards, Kardash came in and tried to pick him up, but Zach Allen's doing pretty well against the run.
Foggy has Clemens open. Clemens slips, tried to roll for additional yardage. Is about a yard short of a first down. 9:52 remaining in the ball game, and Clemens is upset with himself, his failure to stay on his feet after making the catch.
Well, one of the things that happened on that play, Paul Wetmore came in off the short side, which Avilovich alluded to. They think they can get to the quarterbacks of Toronto because they use so many people spread out, and that's exactly what happened. Wetmore gave Foggy a real tough hit.
Well, this is week 4 in the Canadian Football League. Last night, Edmonton defeated Saskatchewan 54-24. Tomorrow night, Ottawa's at Winnipeg, Calgary, and Hamilton.
Adam Rita wants to get something going. He's got to get back on the board. He wants to show that this team didn't just go stale after that second half. Maybe not so tricky now. Maybe he's going to settle down and just work on the things that they do well. I think that's what Foggy needs to do. Not too many tricks, just execute.
They keep and should have the first down to the 40-yard line. They trail by 10 with 9:25 remaining. 38-28, the BC Lions in front.
Bob Skemp's back in the lineup. You didn't keep him out for very long. Those teddy bears don't stay out long. They go back in and play.
Overthrown by 10 or 15 yards.
Well, 2 receivers were making their cuts, but neither one of them went in the direction of the football, so you have to think that that hurry-up offense didn't help anybody that time. They thought they could keep the defense from getting set. It looked like Toronto got confused more than anybody on that hurry-up, no-huddle offense the last play.
Receivers to the left, underthrown is Trumaine Johnson.
But Foggy had the receivers open. May not have had the vision that he wanted. It looked like they were getting some pressure out of Stu Hill, but should have been a completion.
It will be 3rd and 10 from the 41, and Lance Chomick will come in to try a 48-yard field goal. Paul Mazzatti will hold. It's good. Lance Chomick, who has missed just 1 field goal attempt this year, puts it through.
Lance Chomick has done a lot of things this year. He's punted when he had to. He's a real gamer.
So it's a 7-point game with 8:17 remaining. Scott.
Don, a few moments ago, Argo linebacker Donnie Moen got fingers in both eyes. He's put on a pair of protective goggles and gone back into the game, even though he told me just as he stepped onto the field he has about quadruple vision. Says he welcomes the opportunity to go onto the field in that condition because that means there's a whole lot more guys to tackle.
Just tackle the guys in the middle. You can't go wrong. He looks like Batman, doesn't he?
Well, he hasn't lost his sense of humor. The Argos trailing by 7 points with 8:17 remaining here at BC Place Stadium. This ball bounces away from
that the lack of phones, the lack of headsets in the press box has had anything to do with the way this game has turned around. It certainly seems, I see Dennis Meyer down on the field, it certainly seems like the defense of Toronto has changed its personality and that BC has been able to come alive.
344 passing yards so far tonight for Doug Flutie. Coach Bob Abilovich was saying that Flutie reminds him a lot of Tom Clements of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He has a quick mind, is really coachable. He also said that Flutie probably has faster feet than Tom and is a little quicker.
I think he buys more time than Tommy Clements used to do. Tom had a built-in watch in his head, it seemed like. He would never let anybody get a hard hit on him. He'd always throw the ball just before they got there. Flutie, he'll take 20 seconds just scrambling around to try to find somebody open. I think he's got more reckless abandon maybe than Tom Clements.
Ray Etheridge is the injured BC Lion. And once again, let's bring in Scott O.
Don, here's the lineup for Sports Weekend this weekend. On Saturday, we'll have from Milan the final of the World League Volleyball. It's Cuba versus Italy. And from Niagara Falls, Aldo Roy and I will report on the Canadian Weightlifting Championships. Sunday, coming up on Sports Weekend, live from the Butterdome on the campus of University of Alberta, the final of the 1991 World Junior Basketball Championships. There's some great talent there, Don, and you and I will be there to call the action.
Looking forward to the wrap-up to that World Junior Basketball Championship in Edmonton. Some fine young talent. 16 nations participating in that World Junior Championship.
This is a big drive for BC. I think they've got to come down the field and at least get good field position because Toronto will be in good shape if they hold them here with their punt return ability. BC's got to move out of their own end zone area.
Flutie to Alexander. At the 35, that's another first down.
Alexander's challenging coming right off the line. Pleasant is playing him up tight man-to-man, but he never gave him a bump. Now he comes in and makes the tackle.
With Etheridge out, Matt Clark comes in as a receiver for the Lions. First and 10 from the 35. Volpe, the draw play, gets away from Brian Warren, but he can't escape Carl Braisley.
Brian Warren made a big play just stopping Volpe from his forward momentum. That gave Braisley a chance to come back to the inside. Now, Flutie's got to pull one out. It's 2nd down and 8. He needs to keep this drive alive. Well, he's telling everybody where to go. He's drawing them up in the sand. Drawing the play up on right there in the huddle.
Well, some of his plays have been right off the playground tonight, but they have been successful with them. Don Moen pursuing Flutie. Flutie runs for a first down.
Brian Warren gives him good pressure. Don Moen has him flushed out, but there's nobody to give contain on the other side. Flutie makes the sticks for the first down.
First and 10. BC at the 50. 6:30 remaining in the game. 38-31. The Lions lead the Argos. Little jump pass intended for Chris Skinner as they tried to run that screen. Groenwagen was out in front of Skinner. It was well over his head. Good fake inside by Flutie to Volpe.
Flutie gave the good fake. He comes back up, and he's getting pressure from Warren. He feels Warren in the ballgame now more than he has during the entire first half and the third quarter. Now he feels him.
An injured ball player, Mike Campbell, is down at the 50.
Well, Mike Campbell may get an Oscar for that. I don't think he got injured during the play. He got injured after he heard the signals. Maybe they called the wrong signal for him, and Obi is really upset. Look at him. Obi used to coach these guys. He knows when somebody's acting.
Well, his complaints will fall on deaf ears. 6:12 is the time left in the game.
The guys just met their match at Frisbee football. Defeat didn't go down too well, but the icy cold Miller Lite will.
Come on, we were dogging it out there.
Yeah, sure, but they didn't have to run up the score.
Hey, they really rubbed our noses in it.
You know, the least they could have done is buy us a beer. Bunch of animals.
Hey, look at them over there. Hooting and howling. No breeding.
I think they want the game.
Miller Lite, always a great call.
Golf on Sports Weekend. The PGA Championship. Last year, Payne Stewart missed, defending his title. But there were 4 other top golfers in the race. One by one, they got into trouble and fell out of the running, leaving Australia's Wayne Grady to enjoy his victory walk. Watch this year's PGA on Sports Weekend, August 10th and 11th.
Well, Mike Campbell caused a delay with 6:12 remaining as the BC Lions were moving up to the line of scrimmage. He dropped to the artificial turf and is very carefully making his way off to the bench. It could have been a cramp as much as anything else because it is very warm under the dome. It has been a warm, sunny day here on the West Coast. And
I saw Adam Reed point to the ground. That could have been what it was, too, maybe.
The amount of time that these players have spent on the field defensively in this second half could be taking its toll now. Mark Napierkowski will come into the game to replace Campbell.
Well, it's been all defense for Toronto in the second half. They've been 2 plays and out. An offensive team does not like to go in for 2 plays and then have to punt, but that's what Toronto has done.
2nd and 10 from just across the 50. Flutie to Volpe. He won't get the first down.
Flutie didn't want to do that, but they had a change-up on him. They went to man-to-man coverage. Doug was hoping that he'd get an isolated wide deep out here, and he couldn't get anything, so he had to dump the ball off. That's not what Doug wanted to do.
Darryl Ford, who was Defensive Star of the Week for his play last week against Winnipeg in that 30-16 triumph, made the tackle. And the pinball and the Rocket are back for this 3rd down punt.
Double trouble. Could be a reverse.
Saglia saw pressure coming. Mazzati picks it up and takes it out of bounds at the 40. The Argos are complaining that there should have been a no yards call.
I think that's really a tough situation because after only getting a 22-yard punt, they're in good. The Toronto Argos are in good field position, but Passaglia felt some pressure to his right. And this is what happens when you try to kick the ball away from one of those deep returners, those punt returners. It really bothers the kicker, and if you give him pressure, he can't get off a good kick.
The Rocket and the pinball line up to the left side, but the pinball may have been offside. A screen to Kelly, and there was another penalty flag in the backfield, but I think it was the pinball crossing the line of scrimmage trying to time his move with the snap count, and he missed.
Legal procedure. Corner number 14, still 1st down.
Well, Foggy showed his athletic ability just being able to recoup what became a bad play. Somebody got mixed up on the snap. It was either the quarterback or the receiver.
53,527 the attendance tonight. It's 1st and 15. Longest pass knocked down by McCready at the line of scrimmage.
Derek McCready is one of those fired-up kind of guys. He's been playing a good football game. He's been all over the field tonight, and he got himself a bat. Batted that ball down. when the quarterback's guide hand comes off the ball, that's when the defenders reach up and knock that ball down.
2nd and 15 from the 35. 4:44, the time remaining. Foggy looking for Trumaine Johnson over his head.
Now, this has been the pattern all night for the Argos, particularly the second half, the deep routes, and the percentage of completions on deep passes isn't all that great. So it's punt time. And BC has got 2 receivers, punt returners deep.
Jefferson and Trevathan are back for this 3rd down kick by Hank Alyssa. 38-31 to score. BC in front. Jefferson goes back to the 28-yard line. Gets a couple of blocks, but there are penalty flags. Graisley is decked. Etheridge threw a good block on Graisley, but there are penalty flags back at the point where Jefferson initially fielded the kick. And it's a holding call that will bring the ball back. That eliminates a fine 36-yard return.
Legal block, BC number 8, 1st down.
Penalties have certainly had an influence on how this ball game has gone in the last. There's the clip. You see number 8 just taking JP right over. Penalties have been just atrocious here in the end of the 3rd quarter, beginning here in the 4th quarter. That has had a major influence on field position. It's tough to start out on your own 22-yard line.
Well, number 22 will try and move his team the length of the field. He gives to Volpe. Volpe tried to duck under a couple of tacklers, but Darryl Ford brought him down after a gain of about 3.
Darryl Ford played so well last week, and he certainly picked up where he left off last week. This is a big play, a big series. Toronto wants the ball back. They have to get the ball back. There's not much time to go in this game. As we said, 3 minutes can be a lifetime, but they have to have the ball in order to make it a lifetime.
Mike Campbell back into the ball game defensively. The Argos need the ball here. 3:06 remaining. Flutie over the middle, incomplete. Trevathan, the intended receiver. Don Wilson managed to knock the ball away from him.
Well, Don Wilson gave the Toronto Argos life. That was a fine football play.
And the Argos will get the ball back when we return.
Basically, trucks are used for 2 reasons, hauling and towing. And for that, you need power. And the Sierra from GMC Truck has the most standard horsepower, which gives you the hauling and towing capacity you need. Plus, for 5 straight years, the GMC has retained more of its original value than any other full-size pickup truck in Canada. Sierra, powerful and durable. The 1991 Sierra full-size pickup from GMC Truck.
Well, Harold Hallman has had a rough time tonight. This appears to be a cramp, the way they're bending his toe up, but maybe it is a little more serious. Maybe they are now working on the ankle area. Although many times when the trainer goes out and bends that toe forward, it's an indication that the player who is down is having cramping problems.
Well, their electrolytic balance is off, Don, and that means that they've lost a lot of liquid. Muscles have a tendency to cramp up. why the coaches always want him to eat a lot of fruit before the ball games and drink a lot of liquids. It's very difficult as a defensive lineman. You're always thrusting off that up leg, and that calf muscle can cramp up very easily. Adam Reed is so tired, he's got cramps. Look, he's down on one knee, too. This has been a tough ball game. I think Adam's going to have to bring them back with more basic and fundamental strategy to get first down. Obi, he's just going to eat some ice and pray now because they've had some tough situations, some tough penalties, bad punt, starting from their own 22. They're in a little bit of a defensive position now, so Obi's going to have to call on his defense to help them win this ball game.
Harold Hallman is having a difficult time making his way off to that Toronto bench. Now the Rocket on this punt return is lined up on the line of scrimmage. Don't be surprised if Toronto doesn't attempt what they did successfully against Hamilton, run the reverse. But will it be the Rocket who carries the football if they try a reverse?
Louis had pressure on the last punt and didn't get a good one off. Let's see how they block on this one.
Clemens is the lone man back. Big kick. Well, he made a lot of people miss, but Lorenzo Graham finally brought him down up at the 42-yard line.
They did try to block that kick. The Rocket was up on the line of scrimmage, and with that kind of speed, the Rocket has, there's a possibility he can get in there. If he runs a 4.240, how fast does he run 15 yards back to Louis? But they got a piece of it and got a beautiful kickoff.
A 51-yard kick by Pasaglia. The Rocket lines up to the left. Foggy rolls to his right. Drills the pass, complete to Murray for a first down at the midfield stripe. 2:28 is the time remaining.
All the receivers to one side. Foggy rolled out and took the time that he needed to get Andrew Murray open. It wasn't a long pass, but it was great for his confidence, for Ricky Foggy's confidence. He got a lot of help here from Pinball. Pinball came over and rolled over top. Then Kelly came over and gave him some help.
At midfield, 1st and 10. The Argos trail by 7. Screen to Kelly.
Well, now they're playing strategy. They're playing good strategy. That's what Adam Reed, I know, told Ricky Foggy going in. Let's do the things we do well. Let's forget about the fancy stuff and try to trick someone. Let's move the ball down the field.
Well, I recognize the guy in the middle, but who are those other two?
Well, let me see here. That's a really wide receiver. And a really great owner.
2 minutes remaining in the game. There seems to be some confusion on the part of the Argos. Darrell Smith comes off to the sideline. Kelly takes the handoff on 2nd and 3. He'll be close to the first down inside the 45.
That's unusual. You don't usually see the two tight ends with Toronto. When they have short yardage, they've gone to the spread out 6-pack, but their strategies changed a little bit. They're a little bit more conservative on this drive in particular.
It's just short of a first down.
It's about a hen's tooth away from the first down.
Again, there appears to be a little confusion for that Argo offense as Darrell Smith went out there and Masadi came off, and then
they're staying with two tights.
Smith went back to the bench and Masadi came on. 3rd down, Foggy keeps, first down Toronto. Kardash and Blaine Schmidt in that twin tight end formation. The Bimbo formation, according to the Argo playbook, and that produces a first down to the 43.
Well, Toronto's not fooling around. They're not trying to fool anybody now. They're just trying to get down the field and get a touchdown and get in this ball game.
haven't been able to get the ball to the Rocket tonight.
They're trying hard, and I think that's part of the problem with their game plan. They had 5 receivers to that side.
Second down.
And they wanted to try to convert to the first down. They're having a little bit of confusion which receivers are going to line up where. And when you have the Rocket lining up at receiver, running back, you don't always know exactly where you're going to have him. So they need to develop first down on this drive.
1:19 remains. Draw play with the quarterback, Ricky Foggy. He loses the football. And I think the Argos got it back. I believe it was Bob Skemp who managed to pounce on the ball after it got away from Ricky Foggy.
I told you Bob Skemp doesn't get hurt for long. He was back out there alertly, saw the ball being stripped out of the hands of Ricky Foggy. This is what defenders do oftentimes. They have the receiver or the ball carrier in front of them. They punch the ball out. But Skemp made a few yards on his own. He did a good job. He's fired up.
It's a first down Toronto at the 27 with 1:02 remaining. Foggy for Darrell Smith. Incomplete. Petway and Belanger were both covering Darrell Smith, who was looking for his 3rd touchdown of the ball game.
Well, that gave the fans a little bit of a thrill. Ricky Foggy knew what he wanted. He wanted Smith on the post corner, but he was double covered. Belanger came over and alertly helped knock that ball down. One-on-one, I think Smith would have had a touchdown like he had in the first half.
50 seconds remaining. The clock will not start until the ball is snapped. This was designed as another quarterback draw, but Paul Whitmore was having none of it.
I don't think Ricky fooled anybody with the quarterback draw on that particular play. Certainly not Paul Whitmore. Whitmore knew what to expect. When McCready missed, Whitmore came up and wrapped him up and made a nice play.
Paul Whitmore out of Acadia, dropping Ricky Foggy right at the line of scrimmage. As a matter of fact, he may have lost a yard. 47 seconds, the time remaining.
Toronto's going to go for it. They're keeping everybody out on the field. Now the strategy has to be with Adam Rita. What are we going to do here? Are we going to get the first down? We're going to go for the touchdown. Foggy likes to go for touchdowns, but in this situation, I don't think they're going to give him anything deep. They're going to have to really be aware of where that first down marker is to keep this drive going. They like to flood one side with 5 receivers.
Well, 4 weeks in a row, the Lions have been involved in this type of ball game. Darrell Smith.
What a great catch by Darrell Smith. Nice pass by Ricky Foggy. This was a critical play in the ball game, and Foggy dropped back and acted like he was just going to an afternoon tea. He just dumped the ball over the middle. Sometimes you wonder where these quarterbacks get their confidence. We've seen some confident quarterbacks tonight, and there's no better play than what we've just seen right there. Ricky Foggy came up with a big, big play.
So does Darrell Smith going up in front of Ken Petway. It's first and goal from the 3. Foggy will try and run it in. He won't get there. Belanger prevented him from driving into the end zone with 26 seconds remaining. John Candy Mills is anxiously at the clock, and Foggy is slow in getting to his feet.
They put 5 receivers out to the wide side. What Foggy wanted to do was to run everybody off, get a soft corner. All 5 receivers to one side, get the soft corner, and now Foggy tried to break it out. There was only one man to make the tackle, and Robin Belanger cut him off at the pass.
There was also a penalty flag. Offside BC on the play, so that takes the ball to the 1. It will be first and goal from the 1. "26 seconds, the time remaining. Foggy keeps. Touchdown.
a step, drives through. There's all wedge blocking. All these guys are coming down to the inside. Moving the pile is what they call that. And Foggy takes it over where he finds the hole. Just moved him back. Schmidt made a key play.
And if Lance Tomic can add the point after, we'll be tied at 38 with 24 seconds remaining.
This is a typical BC ball game. That's what they always do. Down to the last seconds. Ricky Foggy's happy. He said, I saw that opening. I knew what was there, and I got the ball up high for Darrell K. Smith. We talked about the height advantage, and that's what Darrell K. Smith had on that last that set up the touchdown, the last play down to the 3-yard line. You like tall guys, don't you, Don? Foggy just got wedge blocking, they call that. Everybody's driving down for the inside. Foggy makes the scene. John Candy likes it, a high five. All right, Uncle Buck.
Susan Wax, Brian Cooper, owner Bruce McNall, all part of the Argonaut management team, celebrating the touchdown and the fact that the game is tied at 38.
That's a great way. We got the fans entertained. We have the owners entertained. What more could anyone ask?
That swift kick. Rocco Romano and Carl Colter were there to field it, and Carl Colter returned it to the 48-yard line with 21 seconds remaining.
All Flutie wants to do is to get about 40 yards so that he can get in field goal range of Lou Pasaglia. That squib kick didn't work very well. That ball's on the 47-yard line. They only need about 30 yards, and they're threatening for Lou Pasaglia to kick a field goal.
Lions have already been involved in one overtime game this year. Will they get another? Intercepted by Don Wilson.
Well, I know Christensen's not going to be very happy about that, but that ball was put right on his shoulder. Don Wilson just turned around and had the ball.
Well, with 15 seconds remaining, the Toronto Argonauts can just as quickly turn it around the other way.
Flutie went to his clutch receiver, Christensen. The protection is solid. He got a little bit of disturbance from Stu Hill and from Brian Warren, and then Wilson came up with the interception. Almost looked like a gift. It was a gimme. I'd say the thing that they have to worry about now, with 15 seconds to go, is to make sure it does get into overtime. Don't let anybody have a big play. Don't let anybody have a trick play. And Toronto's noted for their trick plays.
Willie Gillis is in at quarterback. He gives it to Clemens. Petway got a hand on Clemens. The ball came loose, but apparently the whistle had already gone.
This is two determined football teams trying to play right down to the last second. With 8 seconds to go now, there's about 1 yard to go for the first down. I think we'll see Gillis on the quarterback sneak.
Foggy got the Argos into the 38-38 tie. Willie Gillis will mop up the final seconds. This will be the final play of the ball game. And they are just making sure, giving it to Kelly. And that will end the ball game, and we are heading for overtime. Since overtime was introduced in 1986, this will be the 11th time that extra play has been required to determine the outcome.
Well, you usually see Adam Rita smiling on the sidelines. You see his jaw set in determination. He wants to win this football game because they almost toyed with the BC Lions in the first quarter. Bob Obilovich is saying, hey, we blew it. We had all those penalties and bad field position to let them back in the football game. I'm going to take this ice, break it into 1,000 pieces, and tell that team what I want them to do.
There will be 2 5-minute halves. They kick off to start the second half. The BC Lions won a game on July 19th, 26-23. over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They got a winning field goal from Lou Pasagli on the final play of the game. And before we start overtime, let's go down to the sidelines and bring in Scott Evans.
Well, Don, here on the Argo bench as they get ready for OT, the big question for the Argos is, will Ricky Foggy be available to play? Took an awful big hit late in that late touchdown drive, and he's got blurred vision. You may be able to see he's holding an ice pack to his head right now. He's not going to go in until his vision clears. The question is, will it be before overtime is over, or is done? Willie Gillis will start, obviously, in overtime. And one final thought about OT. The Argo defense has spent about 3/4 of this ball game chasing around the fleet-footed Doug Flutie. Had a word with a couple of the Argo defenders. They admit they're exhausted, and I wonder if they have enough left to play 2 5-minute halves. Don?
Well, it's been a tough year, Scott, for quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League. Matt Dunnigan hurt. Ricky Foggy hurt now. Kent Austin out of the Saskatchewan lineup. John Kangemi hurt over in Ottawa.
Well, when a football player is hurt within the boundaries and when he's hit while he's up, there's not much you can do about it. But you certainly want to eliminate football players being hit when they're already down. And that looked like that was the case with Foggy. He was already down, and then the 2 more players piled on. Got penalized for it, but Foggy's out of the game.
The Rocket will return the kickoff to start overtime. Tried to stay in bounds, but he ran out of room. Forced out of bounds over on the far side of the field, but good field position for the Argos.
Turnovers have a lot to do with it. When you have 3 turnovers, it's tough to stay in a ball game, and I think the Argos are pleased that it's a tie with those 3 turnovers.
A lot of offense generated by these 2 teams tonight, as they did last year when the Argos won a pair of games, 68-43 and 49-19. And Willie Gillis continues to direct the attack. 1st and 10 from his own 54. The screen to Kelly. He had some problems getting control of the football, and he runs it down to the 36. 1st and 10 at that point, tripped up by Robin Belanger.
Kelly had a little bit of trouble when he tried to hang on to the football, but it might have helped the timing of the play. What it did is it gave the offensive lineman a little more time to get downfield. Watch Kelly bobble it, but the offensive linemen now turn around. They look for people to hit.
Keith Kelly beat out Kevin Smelly at training camp, and the Bishop's product got the #1 job. Dan Ferrone is the injured Toronto Argonaut. So that means that either Blaine Schmidt or Jim Kardash will come into the ball game. The Argos on occasion have rotated their offensive linemen.
Well, that's the value, I guess, of the bimbo. You know, you get Kardash and Schmidt both play in the tight ends. They're still blocking man on man. Kardash has played quite a bit. He's got game experience.
This substitution, though, will be made by necessity, and Ferrone will have to stay out for at least 3 plays.
Well, that's an amazing guy, and you wonder why he hasn't carried the ball yet on this drive. Maybe that's why. They just want to come in there and make sure that somebody has to hit the pinball on every play. And this guy has certainly played on every play. He'll make 5 yards look exciting. A 5-yard gain looks exciting when the pinball has the ball.
Well, this is a tired group of Toronto Argonauts. 10:38 time here on the West Coast, with the 3-hour time change traveling from Toronto to Vancouver yesterday. It does have an effect. Would you not agree?
Well, I would say that most of these youngsters are in bed, sleeping and resting by now. Most of them, I said. Maybe the offensive line is out together, having a brew or 2, but I think the majority of them should be sleeping by now.
Jet lag always has an effect when teams travel to the West Coast. Here's the reverse with Darryl Smith. That one was designed a little differently, as Darryl Smith cut inside instead of going wide.
Daryl Smith, if you ever saw him just in workout gear, shorts and a shirt, this guy is put together. I mean, he is built like Conan the Barbarian. And watch the way he makes that move back inside. People glance off of him. You don't usually see a receiver that can run with the authority that Daryl Smith does.
It's 1st and 10 from the 21. Willie Gillis directing the attack in place of the injured Ricky Foggy. He gives to the pinball. Wetmore and McCready came over to make the tackle.
Well, we drafted Wetmore and McCready in the same year, and we like both of them as defensive ball players. So they're coming into their own. It's a cutback all the way. Good disciplined defense by Wetmore. McCready slowed him down. Wetmore finished him off. Mayo came in and helped.
2nd and 7. 2:50 remaining in this first overtime half. Intended for Murray, and Penway recovered to knock it away.
Now they ran the smash pattern. Andrew Murray had a chance, but the ball was thrown a little bit late. Petway recovered. He had some time to recover. Had the ball been thrown a little bit sooner, I felt like Murray would have been able to make the break.
A 25-yard field goal attempt for Lance Tomic. The ball directly in front of the uprights, and Mazzotti is going to take a time count violation because he realizes the Argos are one man short.
Well, that's not going to make Adam Rita very happy. You don't want your special teams to be one man short.
Violation.
Whenever, what happens, like Ferroni was hurt, right? So what the special teams coach does is he scratches Ferroni and he puts probably Schmidt or Kardash in his place. Now somebody got mixed up, and I see down on the bench, Ferroni's trying to explain to somebody, hey, you guys knew I was hurt.
So it will be a 30-yard field goal attempt by Lance Tomic.
Just gave him a better angle.
So the Argos are back in front by 3 with 2:18 remaining in this first 5-minute overtime period.
Well, the Rockets set that touchdown up with a nice return. Obi knows now they've got a chance to get back in the ball game. You got Foggy beat up a little bit. He's got a nice back on his head. Gillis hasn't had a lot of experience. All the coaches are on the sidelines. I'm sure Obi isn't used to getting that much experience or that much advice from all of his coaches down on the sideline. He usually has about half of them in his press box.
This is only the second time that the Argos have been involved in overtime, and their only previous experience in 1987, the game ended in a 33-33 tie with Saskatchewan. This is the fourth time that BC has been involved in overtime. They lost to Winnipeg in 1989, 24-20. They were involved in a 38-38 tie with Calgary last year. And, of course, this year they beat Winnipeg 26-23 on the 19th of July.
On the fumble that may not have been a fumble.
Raymond Etheridge on the kickoff return finds a hole. Goodbye. remaining in this first overtime half.
Etheridge just outran everybody, and it looked like Toronto, having played so much defense, just couldn't make that reaction that you need on special teams. You don't see many people coming in and sliding in front of people like you usually do on a kick return. I think Toronto's tired.
Well, it was the Rocket the fans on the West Coast paid to see tonight, but it was the Missile.
There's Obilovich.
Has delighted the fans here at BC Place.
Hobie and his equipment manager, Cato, are celebrating together. Like he was waiting for the people to stay out away from him. That certainly isn't the rule. Watch him look for no yards here. He's letting the ball bounce. Now he tries to do it, but it's too late. Thomas is really alert, picking up the ball.
First and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line with 1:52 remaining in this first overtime half. Flutie in all sorts of trouble. He just flipped the ball away, incomplete. He threw that underhand.
I wonder if that's intentional grounding. I guess you're allowed to throw it underhand if you're getting tackled and your knees are almost touching and you'd like to throw it away.
Well, there was a receiver in the general area. Say Alexander was there.
Somebody's in the vicinity. This is a tremendous effort coming back on Flutie. Warren sort of keeps his ground, and he knows that Flutie is one of those scramblers, but Hallman makes the big play, and Warren is there to wrap him up.
Second and 10. Ball just outside the 20. Drop play with Volpe. He'll be close enough to a first down. If they don't have it, I think they'll probably gamble.
Volpe makes an excellent cut here. He's got that low center of gravity, but he's got some acceleration. Watch him make the acceleration back upfield through the tacklers. 3 more yards after contact.
Coaches are at their respective benches. We pointed out early in the third quarter that there is a problem with the communication between the benches and the spotters box. So all the coaches are down on the bench. Third down gamble, the toss to Volpe. He'll turn the corner and get the end zone.
An engineer, and he knows about angles, and he took that angle right to the flag, right to the goal line, and it just looks like nobody can stop him. Nobody ever gets in front of Volpe. They always get a side glancing blow on him. They never get under him, that's guaranteed, and they never seem to get in front of him.
Luke Bisaglia adds the point after. 42 seconds remaining in this first half of overtime.
John takes the ball on the sweep. Skinner leads the play. Watch how he turns up, gets the shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, and just runs through people.
Well, the Argos, or the Lions, I should say, called a timeout.
Joe Papa liked that. Obi liked it.
And Volpe celebrates as he reaches the end zone by throwing it up into the crowd. 2 touchdowns. Very quickly. Etheridge and then Volpe. The ball slipped along the ground. J.P. Esquerdo had problems picking it up, and Andrew Thomas was down there quickly again.
When Esquerdo, he wanted to pick the ball up, but he remembered what happened the last play to the Rockets, so he said, I decided to recover this football.
39 seconds remaining in this first half of overtime. We've got another 5-minute half. They could threaten the 111 record points they scored in a game in Toronto a year ago.
A lot of fireworks. Anything can happen.
Gillis throwing deep for the Rocket. Knocked away by Jefferson.
Well, Jefferson just turned and started to run, and I think that's what's going to happen to people who have to play against the Rocket if they continue to just throw to him deep. He's going to have to make some moves, Don. He's going to have to make some ins and some outs and some curls.
Blazing speed alone won't be enough.
Well, that doesn't help if that's all you do. And I know he's got the moves to make those out cuts, and I think that's what they're going to have to come back to.
2nd and 10, the ball at the 41. 3 receivers wide to the left. Darryl Smith was the man that Gillis was trying to get the ball to. Again, Ken Petway was covering.
The most effective way to get Darryl Smith the football is to throw it to him over the inside, and Darryl Smith always likes to work the inside on a receiver. Here, Petway knows what Darryl Smith wants to do. He works the inside. Belanger comes over to make sure that the pass is broken up.
When Bob Obilovich was coaching the Argos, part of the problems that he had in that personality clash between himself and Darryl Smith was that Obi converted Darryl Smith into a slot back.
It certainly looked like he could play slot back in the games we've seen him.
Jefferson on the return to the 44-yard line with just 14 seconds remaining in this first half of overtime.
Well, Adam is talking to Gillis, and I know what he's telling him. Let's get some first downs. Let's move the sticks. Let's work our way down the field, and then we can set up a long bomb, a deep pass.
How does this game rank on the highest scoring games in the CFL? It's right up there. Chris Skinner, the ball carrier, getting up to the 49-yard line. Toronto at BC, September 1 last year, the record, 111 points. Calgary at Hamilton, October 17th, 82, 103 points. Toronto at Hamilton in 1990, on September 29th, 99 points. 96. Montreal at Hamilton in 1956, and 96 points in 1990. Ottawa at Edmonton. This one, 93 points so far. Well, Chris Skinner has been used as a pass receiver tonight. He had to go to overtime to get his first carry as a runner. And this will be the final play of the first overtime period. Doug Flutie simply drops to a knee, and they'll kick off for the second 5-minute overtime period. So the BC Lions enjoy an 11-point lead with 5 minutes left.
after a little 2-on-2. The guys are ready to go 1-on-1 with icy cold Miller Lite.
One of these days, I'm going to dunk this sucker.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you can't dunk.
Hey, guys. Cold Miller Lite.
I'll get those.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So, you guys really don't think I could dunk, huh?
No. I rest my case.
Hey, it's returnable can, all right? Oh.
Miller Lite. Always a great call.
Yeah, right.
For 5 straight years, the full-size pickup from GMC Truck has retained more of its original value than any other in Canada. That's why the popularity of the Sierra is growing faster than any other full-size pickup. And we intend to keep it that way in '91 with the new Sierras. The 1991 Sierra full-size pickup from GMC Truck.
To start this second half of overtime, the BC Lions will get the football back as the Argos prepare to kick it off. .42-41 is the score. Etheridge again.
Football. When you get a guy like Etheridge, he hears all this stuff about the pinball and about the rocket, and he called himself the missile. Well, he wants to show people what he can do, and he does this almost all by himself because he comes laterally all the way across the field, and if it's not for Chomik, right arm, he would have made it. He would have gone all the way for another touchdown.
And Chomik was hurt as he came across to make that play. He is still down at the Argo bench. A 47-yard return by Etheridge. Pitch to Volpe, and I think we'll see the Lions try and keep it on the ground as much as possible in this second overtime half. There's a holding call against the BC Lions. They'll be running the football and using that clock as much as possible in this second overtime half.
Holding, DC number 66, first down repeated.
Jim Mills guilty of the holding call, taking the ball back to the 52-yard line.
Jim Mills has been doing a good job all night on pass protection. But all you have to do is pull a jersey once and you'll get your name on national TV.
Lance Chomik is up. The player that was still being treated at the Toronto bench is Don Wilson, who was hurt on that play where Etheridge returned the kick. There's another holding call, and I think this is going to go against Sinclair as he was holding Campbell.
And Campbell showing his pleasure at the call. He's applauding in Sinclair's face.
It's an incomplete pass, and you see Don Wilson now being assisted off to the Argo bench. It appears to be above his eye.
See number 55, decline. Second down.
It's been a tough football game, Don. There's been a lot of injuries. A lot of penalties, unnecessary penalties.
Second and 20. The ball is at the 51-yard line. 52-41. There's the toss to Volpe. He had a little trouble handling it, and Harold Hallman hauls him down for a further loss back to the 50-yard line.
Well, Carl Braisley was coming in on a halfback blitz. They have to stop the running game. They have to pause the punt and start to get back into this football game. So they set the halfback on the line of scrimmage. They brought him in from the outside.
High snap. Saglia hauls it down. Clemens fields it. And he's taken out of bounds at the 36.
That's about the only thing that stops the pinball, I think, in the sidelines, because when he's in bounds, there's always some excitement.
3:18 is the time remaining. A 9-yard run back that time by the pinball, and Willie Gillis remains at the controls of the Toronto attack.
Toronto's had some problems. They've been trying to throw the ball downfield only. I think they got to do some curls. They got to dump it off to the backs if they want to get back into this ball game.
From the shotgun. Gillis to run it. And he's got a first down up to the 52. Stopped there by Zach Allen. 2:53 remains in the ball game.
Stu Hill's been playing a real fine football game. They run a little cross stunt with his defensive end, but he comes off the block and runs down Gillis all the way 20 yards downfield.
Again, from that shotgun formation. On the sideline, Tremaine Johnson, the target, knocked down by Norman Jefferson.
Well, they're trying to do some possession passing. Gillis shows a strong arm, but Tremaine waited for the ball to get to him instead of coming back for the ball. When the defender's on you, you have to come back towards the football. You know what the pass route is. He doesn't.
Well, the Lions have given up a lot of points tonight, but on occasion they've made some key defensive plays. Paul Massotti very close to a first down. Riggins made the initial contact with Massotti. It's close enough for a measurement. 1:57 is the time remaining. Massotti was hit in the throat as he made the catch.
You always wonder about the measurement. Do they measure where the knee goes down or where the ball goes down? Sometimes they split the difference and measure at the navel.
It's a first down. Ball is at the 47. First and 10, Toronto. The Rocket goes wide to the left. Tremaine Johnson comes to the right. The Argos tonight have had problems getting the ball to their wideouts. Gillis dumping it off to Kevin Smelly. He was hit immediately by Briggins.
Well, that looked like almost an afterthought, but if they can dump the ball off to those backs and not have them have to turn around to get the ball, they would make a lot of yards because everybody on the BC defense is downfield.
And the clock is running. 1:26 remaining. Pass is complete to the Rocket. He had to go down to a knee to make the catch inside the 30-yard line, but it is a first down. First time they've been able to get the ball to the Rockets successfully tonight as we move into the final minute of the football game. Tremaine Johnson has another first down at the 12. Tackled there by Chris Major.
Well, these are the curls that they so lacked in the first part of this overtime and in the fourth quarter. Little possession type offense keeps the ball moving, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit too little, too late.
Well, it's been a wild scoring affair. I don't know whether it's been enough to keep our football fans in Newfoundland with us all the way as it's going on to 25-4 in the morning.
Well, it ain't over yet, folks.
But there could be more scoring before this game is history. Gillis for Darrell Smith, incomplete.
Now there's a situation situation where Ken Watson is just about as tall as Darryl Smith, so there wasn't a height advantage, and he played him very well, kept him from taking the outside. Excellent coverage. This is Ken Watson. We brought him in 2 years ago, and he struggled a little bit, but it looks like he's back in the lineup, and he might be there to stay.
Seconds remaining. The clock doesn't start until the ball is snapped. Gillis on the quarterback draw. He is stopped by Zach Allen at the 7-yard line.
Well, the linebackers converged very well on Gillis. They fought the pass initially, but then they came back up and converged on him. Now it's third down. They're going to need to get something going here.
To get this play away quickly because the clock is running, of course, following that effort by Gillis. Gillis into the end zone, looking for Smith, incomplete. Seconds remaining, and the BC Lions take over as the third down gamble fails, and that will do it for Bob Ovilovich and company. A third straight victory as the Argos move into a tie for first place in the West with the Calgary Stampeders, who take on the Hamilton Ticats tomorrow night, and the Edmonton Eskimos. Toronto Argonauts, after winning their first three, losing their first game of the season.
Gillis got some playing time tonight, and he looked good in spots. But the problem seems to be a little bit more patience on both Gillis and Foggy's part. Great victory for BC, having been toyed with almost in that first quarter, and then to come back and do the same things to the opponents that they did to them. Nice kick return. Coach Ovilovich is really happy now that they came back from such a deficit, 21-3, I think it was at one time.
Well, each team they've faced this year has been unbeaten, of course, in their opening game of the season. Both Calgary and BC were unbeaten. Winnipeg won its first game and then lost to the Lions. Edmonton had two victories when they came out to the Dome to face the Lions last week. The Argos with 3 victories coming into the game tonight. It will go into the books as a 52-41 BC Lion victory as Bob Ovilovich celebrates his team's third straight win. Well, it was certainly a wide-open offensive display tonight under the dome. Adam Rita seeing his team lose its first game will now take his Argos home to regroup for another Western swing next week as they travel to Regina on Friday to take on the Rough Riders.
Now, Doug Flutie was a super quarterback tonight. He did everything that he had to do when he had to do it. He brought his team back. He got Murray Besom to take off his shirt. I don't know if that's good or bad. It looks pretty bad to me. But you got to think that Doug Flutie has really gained that expertise that you have to have in the Canadian Football League. He knows that the field is 65 yards wide, and he's used it really well.
Well, we heard Darrell K. Smith say early in the ball game, after he scored his second touchdown, that the Toronto Argonauts were for real this year. Indeed they are, but let me tell you, folks, so are the BC Lions.
They certainly are, and it's going to be a tough race with the Calgary Stampede, BC Lions, Edmonton Eskimos. There's some firepower in that division.
So with Doug Flutie directing the attack, the BC Lions improve their record to 3-1 and to share first place in the West with a 52-41 win over Toronto.
Welcome back to BC Place. It is past 2 o'clock in the morning in the East, but was this not a game worth staying up for? It looked in the first quarter as though the Argos were going to rout the Lions. Then to the rescue came Lions quarterback Doug Flutie. And for leading the Lions to a come-from-behind victory, Flutie is our Molson MVP. He showed tonight why he is the CFL's top-ranked quarterback 1 month into the season. Flutie threw for 361 yards and 3 touchdowns. This one to Jay Christensen. He's had 3 good games before this one, but none better than this. Flutie's our Molson MVP with honorable mention.
For the Hebsy Awards, we start with Scrap of the Week. NFL training camp, Buffalo Bills, Jamie Mueller against his teammate Ray Bentley. Oh, hey, are these guys tough? They want to win the Super Bowl. They're ready to bash each other's heads in. No wonder the rest of the team just doesn't want to get involved in this. You could hurt yourself there. Meanwhile, the Wild Man of the Week, Lou Piniella. I'm out of the game? Fine, I'm going to do some landscaping then. I enjoy landscaping. I think I'm going to make a mound here on the plate. Maybe I'll plant some begonias, some petunias. Maybe I'll cause a real ruckus, a dust storm here. Me showing off? Heck no. Why don't you kiss my mother's behind? Or something like that. Oh, yeah, and you too. Lou's pretty upset here. And then the fans, of course, in Cincinnati say, we love you, Lou. What do? Yeah, they throw their paper cups. Here's the worst trophy presentation. Watch out, Aranxa Sanchez. You get dunked with the water from the flowers and the trophy. That a dumb trophy that is. Best bike spill, the guy on the left, the Soviet rider goes down. Second best bike spill, Robbie Knievel. Hey, a low angle shot there. He's got a sore tuchus in that one. Worst dismount, Jose Tejada of Cuba. No, look out, Jose! Boom, right in his face. Right on his face. Is he embarrassed? You bet he is. Now to football, the best pass completion, Jack Trudeau to himself. Nice pass, Jack. And a first down for the Colts. Best hit in the CFL, Doug Flutie's pass. Intercepted by Don Wilson of the Argos. He gets up, and he gets nailed by his own teammate, Chris Gaines, who wipes him out of bounds. Ugliest owner, Murray Pesum, after the game's over, throws his shirt, strips to the waist. Murr, put the shirt back on. Murr, you wouldn't see Bruce McNall do that, would you? Or that, for that matter. Now to baseball.